Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start with the prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. We ask thy blessings on our class today. May we feel thy presence within us, all around us. We are thine. Bless us now. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Today's topic is the benefits of seclusion, and we'll start with a song by Swami Kriyanandaji, sung by him, and then an excerpt from a talk by Swamiji on this topic. Welcome again, friends.
Long I've called you, my Lord, long I've called you. Many years I have longed for your sight. Bathe the darkness with tears of devotion, offered candles in prayer to your light. How much longer, friend, must I cry your name? I am yours, ever yours. Will you come? Long I've called you, my Lord, long I've called you. Many years I have longed for your sight. Bathe the darkness with tears of devotion, offered candles in prayer to your light. How much longer, friend, must I cry your name? I am yours, ever yours. Will you come?
You don't have to be concerned about madness or something like that. People have all sorts of strange ideas about being alone. And
well, I was talking to God. I was not talking to myself, except I could say it was my higher self. And no, I really don't know anything about madness, so I just can't say. But I must say that I never was so clear in my mind as in that period, or in the different periods I've had of seclusion. And I know we used to go out to the desert, and a brother monk of mine, after 2 weeks, he said one thing to me. He said, "What's this?" Because I had left some food in the frying pan. And I told him what it was. It was the only words we spoke in those 2 weeks. But it was absolutely beautiful. I just loved it. It was interesting that we also felt very close to each other because of that seclusion.
It would seem that you would communicate on a much deeper level.
And in fact, I found that he would only have to have a thought and I'd say it. We would know each other's thoughts.
so you were nearby each other then somewhere?
Well, we had the 2 rooms in the same little hut. Yeah. So my seclusion was in one room, his was another. We had a living room and a kitchen. So we had to share a little bit. But I found that in that our attunement became so close that we knew each other's thoughts. Yeah. The madness, madness is confusing the mind. This clarifies the mind. The more you are alone and the more you talk to God, the more you spend your time emptying yourself of all the madness of this world, the more you become clear in your mind, the more you know what life is really all about. And it's a period of, I think everybody should have some time alone. Don't think that as soon as you get home you got to turn on the television. Spend some time in meditation. Spend some time with God. Spend some time with your wife or husband in silence. You'll find you can communicate more deeply that way.
Welcome again, friends. I'm just coming from a seclusion myself, thus I chose this topic, and that's why I wasn't here last week. I had a wonderful time in the Himalayas for 5 days. And just what Swamiji is saying, it's so important to cut off from the world and to have time alone with your soul, with your higher self, with the masters, with God, with the angels. And it was a very special time for me. I hope I can relate, at least vibrationally, how important this is. Master called a seclusion, he said it's the price of greatness. And he said that silence is the altar of God. And he didn't let people talk a lot around him. He took Swamiji spoke about going out to the desert, and to 29 Palms. And Master took him there. He hadn't been with Master, but about 2 months. And he took him out to be in seclusion and silence. You may remember one of the stories from the New Path about that, how Swamiji was very anxious, and he was alone finally for the first time with Master. And he said he wanted to find something to say because he didn't like the silence. So he asked Master, what does the Om sound like? The Master just kept to himself. He just went, hmm. And then Swamiji said, well, I wanted to get him to tell me more. So I said, well, what is the position? And then he just assumed the position and still didn't say anything. And then later Swamiji said to Master, I was having a difficult time in meditation, calming my mind. And Master said, yes, that's because you like to talk a lot. And also Swamiji said to Master once, I really love, after some time, I really love being like this, alone. And Master said, yes, because you have done it in many other lifetimes. And I think for all of us, we've been alone. We've come into this world alone. We leave alone. Divine Mother gives us company during this time, but we need to spend some time alone with her as well. So let me go into this more deeply. The purpose of seclusion, it's not just to be quiet. It's not just to sit in a room and look at the wall at all. It's to spend time with God and to shut down your outer pulls, things that you do in your life every day. If you read the lives of the saints and masters, they all, without fail, practically took time alone with God in the desert and the mountains and whatever, and an ashram. And over the past week or so, I know 7, that's a lot of guru bhais who have been in seclusion and just come out or gone into seclusion. And what am I saying? It's a part of the spiritual life. It's not like I don't want to be alone, so I won't be alone, but it's a part of Master's path. Now, Master would go to 29 Palms. He would write there. He would bring some of the monks out there. As I said, he took Swamiji out there. He would spend time, for some time, out in the desert. And Swamiji, he took seclusion a lot. I mean, at least once a year for some weeks. And I'll get into how long one needs to do it, but he would be in complete silence. If he was at Ananda village, he would be on his own in his own place. And once or twice you had to bring something over that he needed, and he wouldn't make contact, he wouldn't talk with you, he would just take whatever it was and, pranam or something. And for us, I've taken seclusion, I would say practically every year since I started at Ananda, which was in the late 70s. And everyone I am close to, we all take seclusion. We were encouraged by Master and Swamiji to take time alone every year. In fact, in our seva, our duties at the Sangha office there in America, it was 2 weeks of vacation we got and a week of seclusion. And I'm urging people here to take time in seclusion as well as taking a vacation. I mean, many people have told me that after their vacation, which typically is with a lot of people, that they need a vacation. So the real yogi's vacation is alone, taking a seclusion. Now, why is it important in today's world? Well, look at our lives. They're so busy. They're outward, we're traveling, we're working every day, we have families, we have friends, we have devices, we're on social media, we're Zooming. I mean, we have very busy lives. And you think of the outer pulls. I was at a shopping mall recently, and whoa, it just grabs you. Every store and the music and all the people and all the lights and flashing the scenes in every store, just calling you to buy something. And you think outwardly, outside, there's there's just 1.4 billion people here in India. You need time alone. There's the noise, there's the traffic, there's the dogs barking, sirens, whatever. But you need the time to just pull in, and not just when you're sleeping at night. So let me go into what a seclusion does for you. Physically, it rejuvenates your body because you're withdrawing deeply inside in your meditation. I'll get to that in a moment. But the tensions and the stresses you start to relax, and those start to go away. The first couple of days, maybe you're so worn out, you have to sleep more to just give your body a break. But your physical body gets a definite break from all the sounds, the lights, the people, the noises, the emotional pulls, the phone, all the gadgets. You just shut down. So physically, your body is getting purified, but also it's very rejuvenating. The mind gets calm, it gets clear, it gets focused, it gets concentrated. And you find that ideas and insights, answers that you've been looking for, they're accessible because your mind is more focused and clear and not confused and tense and worried and fearsome or whatever it is. So mentally also the emotions just calm right down. And you don't feel with everything that there's an emotional reaction. The reactive process just calms down. Spiritually, if you really try, you can meditate much much more deeply when you're in seclusion, alone, in silence. Your sadhana gets stronger. Your perceptions, your consciousness is uplifted. The perceptions and awareness of God and gurus, not just nature, but beyond nature. They're very accessible. You feel the presence of God. You feel presence of the gurus. So spiritually, you get very uplifted, and your consciousness is uplifted and expands. You may see the light at the spiritual eye more. The meditations is no comparison every day than when you're in seclusion. What to do in seclusion? First of all, shut off your phone. I didn't look at the phone. I didn't make any calls. I didn't look at WhatsApp. I didn't look online. I didn't get emails. What a relief. What a relief. People don't know how much energy that takes. And for 5 days and another half of a day, I just shut down all the outer communication. Was wonderful. And then what else do you do? First day, I said already, you may want to rest more, but then you want to do more meditation, longer, deeper, more of the practices. Maybe you do more of your Kriya preparatory practices. You do more Mahamudra. You energize twice a day. You do longer and longer sessions of meditation. And believe me, once your body gets a break, you can sit longer. You don't sleep as much. You feel like there's so much energy, you can meditate for hours. And you'll have to try that, but do more Kriyas at that time. Do all the practices you've been wanting to do, but you say you don't have the time. The next is yoga postures to really get deeper into relaxation. And I said energization already. And then prayers. Pray about your life. Offer your life. Offer your problems, your worries, your fears, your doubts, whatever. Just give them. I just felt completely freed up after just giving everything to God and gurus. And also pray for others. Pray for your family. Pray for your people at your work, your coworkers. Pray for the world. How many people on earth, really? That's why I was so happy I was up in the Himalayas. Probably up there, many people, I don't know, but are in seclusion. A Nadi reader told me that I had lived up in the Himalayas and spent a lot of time alone there, and I definitely feel that. And so, how many people are able to give a powerful prayer from deep seclusion for the whole world? So, pray for sending light into the world. Another thing you can do is chant. Learn the chants, chant the chants. You can chant for hours on end. And Master said chanting is half the battle. It just opens a door for deeper meditation. You can do the study of the books and the scriptures that you've been wanting to do for a long time. You have the time. You don't want to read magazines, the news, not at all. It's not an option. That's not a seclusion. So you put those aside and you just dive into the teachings. And then you may want to listen to the talks of Master and Swamiji. So what am I saying? You don't just sit and look at the wall. You do postures, then you meditate, then you might chant, then you read something, you go back into meditation, then exercise, you take a walk. I'm not saying lifting weights. I'm saying exercise, it's easy. It's not like you're in the gym. So just taking walks, enjoying nature. You may take a run. I mean, I'm not saying not to do that, but don't take your weights with you unless you really want to do that. That's up to you. I'm not going to say. Now, how long is a seclusion? Well, I would say as long as you can make it. It could be half a day. I did half a day for years when I first got on the path, not later, but when I first got on. Master said to do it, I did it. From the time I got up on Saturday mornings, my day off from when I had my corporate job then, but from Saturday, 6 a.m., whatever time I got up till noon, I was in seclusion. I shut my door. I was living in an Ananda ashram then, but I had a harmonium. I had my Raja Yoga book. I did yoga postures. I meditated. I didn't meditate that well then, but I did my best. And I would read something, I'd meditate more, I'd chant more. So don't feel like I have to wait till I'm on the path 20 years before I take a seclusion. Start now. 3 hours, 6 hours. Could be, that's like half a day or 3 hours or whatever. And then you could start doing a whole day. And then later, maybe you take a weekend. And then maybe later you take 4 days. Just stretch it out. I didn't, after a while, I just went, as we call it, cold turkey. I just did the whole thing for a week. And many times, just completely alone, at Ananda Village Seclusion Retreat, all you'd see were the deer walking by. Just wonderful times. So you have to decide on the timing, but don't make an excuse to say you can't do a week so you don't do anything. Start with 3 hours, do longer and longer. Now, finally, the result. Now, this is an interesting one. Swamiji said this, and you feel completely recharged, body, mind, and soul. He said the results of one of his seclusions lasted. The power he felt, the strength, the clarity, the depth of meditation, all of that, the upliftment of consciousness lasted him a year. And I can tell you, you feel it. When your batteries get run down, you just don't have any magnetism. You think you do, but you don't. You don't have any strength. The first test that comes, you fall apart. After seclusion, you feel great Shakti flowing through you, power, strength. You feel the masters right with you. And you can meditate better. Anyway, you keep the practices going, more energization, more chanting, more study, because you've done it in the seclusion. So the power of it lasts for a long time. The attunement lasts a long time. You feel more joy, more happiness in your life. Of course, deeper meditations, a greater aura, less pulls that's a big one, less pulls. You just feel so centered in yourself. Things could happen, whatever, but you just don't feel pulled outside of yourself. You feel complete in yourself. Emotions are calmed down, and you feel a lot of energy flowing inside and a lot of energy at the spiritual eye. So it's worth it to calm down, calm your emotions, pull in, get centered, lift the energy up, meditate better, have better attunement, deeper attunement with the gurus. Finally, you feel the presence of God much more. It's like I was sitting there thinking, has this presence always been there? And it was so clear in my mind, yes, but you haven't been there. So we said, come to me, but how can God come when there's static? So much static. So seclusion just calms that static down. And then the perception of God and the awareness and the presence, the feeling is very, very strong. So I wish you all a wonderful, however long you take, time with God alone is what a seclusion is. Don't wait till your body's weak, you can't meditate that well, you have difficulties sitting and all that. Do it now. Start this week even. What do you usually do on your day off? Think about it. There's so many hours thrown away. Just have some amount of time where you dedicate that time to God, to your spiritual life, you will find that you start soaring in light. God bless you all. And I'll ask Nitendra to join me now.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji, and welcome back from the seclusion.
Thank you.
Dhanaji, the first question is actually about your seclusion itself. So we just wanted to know what were some of the main benefits that you felt from your seclusion, and also what was your best seclusion so far?
I think this was the best. And what did I'll share with you. It's deep, but I'll let you know this. I had an experience. It wasn't an inner experience. Master said, don't share those. But I hinted at it a moment ago that I felt the veil was thinner. The veil between us and God and gurus it just got thinner by the day. And I just kept thinking, has this presence always been there? I mean, it's like, of course, God is there, Guru's there, but we have to just get closer and open up more. And so I would say it was that I realized that God's presence is always there. I mean, it sounds like, of course, but that's what I felt the most. And inner strength and God's presence powerfully. You start meditating many hours, you knock off a lot of karma. That's what I'll say. And I'll say the final thing was a sense of freedom, that this karma is not bothering me. These desires, maybe they're there, but they're gone further away. The attachments, maybe they're still there, but they're not bothering me anymore. You see the difference? Rather than they're just gripping you, they just lessen. And I think some of them, in fact, run away from you because you're so strong in the light. The darkness flees when there's more light. So a seclusion brings a stronger, brighter aura, more light, protection around you, God's protection, because you're more open, you're more magnetically drawing that power and energy to you. It's well worth it. I would say try to do it. Don't try. Do it every year. And in the meantime, on your day off, take at least 2 or 3 hours to I don't mean sleep. I mean, get your spiritual readings out, get your harmonium out, do yoga postures, meditate more, do more kriyas. I think people get soft and they think they're just soaring on the path, but they're not. All you have to do is pick up any of the lives of the saints and masters. They all took seclusions. Time with God. St. Anthony of the Desert Master said he was there 60 years or longer, 60 years alone in a tomb. Good God, meditating. And he was tempted by Satan. You know the story, right? And Satan kept saying, give up your practice. You're not doing anything here. Get out of this tomb. And St. Anthony said, I won't give up God. I don't care what you do. All of his desires were all over him. And he said, I won't give up. I won't give up. And he kept meditating. Finally, Satan said, if you don't give up these practices, I'm going to crack the tomb. And St. Anthony, he didn't say anything. And Satan, which means your desires, start tearing you apart. This is what happens if you don't take time alone. And St. Anthony didn't give up. He kept calling to Christ to help him to come. And finally, when all the desires were just about to overtake him, the satanic force, then Christ appeared. This is the way Master tells it. And Master, the way he says it's so powerful. As St. Anthony said, Lord, where were you? All this time I've been calling you. And that's how you feel. This is how we feel every day. I've been calling you. And the way Master says, Christ said, Anthony, I was just the same with you. And Master said, now don't forget now, God is just the same with you. But you have to remember God. And his delusion fled. And he merged in the light. So when you feel delusion is creeping in on you, you've got to take the time to get back in the light. Mini seclusion, long seclusion, I know people have taken 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. So get busy. It's worth it.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The next one, Dhyanaji, is that if I cannot go alone on seclusion, is it okay to go with others, friends, family?
You heard Swamiji there. Friends and family, no. I mean, guru bhai. And besides, it's a guru bhai, a deep guru bhai who wants to meditate. I have to say, I've been on seclusions with groups of ladies that just wanted to talk. And the silent seclusion I did, and I won't say where it was, but anyway, my friend Roma and I led it. We couldn't get people to stop talking. They talked the whole time, the whole weekend. We kept saying, shh, this is not seclusion. And I won't be taking anybody with me anymore. You know, I have a seclusion buddy, and I've learned the hard way. So get with somebody who is on your level. Otherwise, they'll be, even if they don't talk, they'll be taking energy from you because they don't know what to do, is looking around and, you know. Like you're a runner, you wouldn't run with somebody who just started running. You see what I'm saying? You got to go with somebody who can keep up. And then you don't talk, you're not making eye contact and hi, how are you? Hi. No, it's you completely cut off. And most people, they want to talk. So don't go with somebody who's a talker, I would say. I met one lady because I've had seclusions, not just had seclusions, but led them at Ananda Village. And one lady, I've told you the Shikhan, she said, I just got to talk. And I said, don't talk to me then. Nobody wanted to talk. So finally, after the second day, by couple of days, she kept looking up, please, somebody talk to me. Nobody wanted to talk. By the end of a whole week, we would go a whole week, no talking. After the week, we couldn't get her to talk. She loved it. She said, I loved it. Your soul loves to meditate, Master said. It's the ego that's stopping you. So you love it. I know you love it. I'm saying to everybody else. You're a quiet type anyway, but the talkative people have a hard time. I'll just tell you, but you can do it, and you feel, God, just stop talking for half a day. The energy you will save. Stop looking at your phone for 1 day. I give you a test. Try it. Test with the little things and see how you feel. And then I think you'll be sold.
Thank you, Dhanaji. The last question is on that only. So, as you said, meditation also becomes easier when we are away from the static of this world. So, how can we get this practice in our daily life, perhaps with like a mini seclusion or something?
I said every day, every week, I'll say it more clearly, every week, you have at least 1 day off. Why not? I just have to say this, but first I'll say the other way I was going to say. Why not take half of that day in seclusion? Meaning, don't go out with your friends, don't go to the mall, don't go out and talking to the relatives. Shut the door and put a note on the door. Whatever will work for you. But you'll find that if you can start doing that, you'll just feel a whole lot better. So yeah, I would say that start with what you can do, a mini seclusion. And yeah, and then see how that goes. Yeah, I had another thought there, but what was it? It was on that. Anyway, I think you get the point. Just start with what you can do. But if you don't start now, when will you start? I don't get it. And if you want to really stick with the path, avoid pitfalls, delusions that could just make you slip right off the path. Take the seclusions. It'll save you from, shall I say, dire fears and colossal sufferings. So I hope I've convinced you all to take some time. And next week, I'd like to talk about how to have that kind of quiet time in the long meditation, the 8-hour meditation. So we'll be talking about that next week as well. Last thought I had is that winter time is the best time for seclusion. It's more inward anyway. So take it now while you can. Good luck to everybody. God bless you. Thank you, Nitendra. Bye-bye, everybody.